As I promised, I want to touch base on the Nonica tab, which is a very cool Revit add-in that you can use to kind of expedite your BIM workflows in Revit. And then I will touch base on a very cool Dynamo scripts that I create, which can add some values to your workflows. So let's jump into Revit. I have the Revit 2023.1. I have a sample structural model. So two cool features or applications inside Unnico is color elements by parameter and renamer. So we're gonna try these two and see how they can add some values to your workflow. So color elements by parameter. So imagine that we have a bunch of beams here. So I'm gonna select a structural framings. I know that their mark value has some different kind of attributes inside that. So let's give it a try. So you can change the colors here, give it orange and this one green, for example. So you can set the color. So as you can see here in Revit, the colors are automatically set. But the important part that I like most is that it enables you to create the filters accordingly. So create view filters, and if you close that video, that tab, and go to your filter settings, you can see that all the filters are created, automatically, which is really nice. And this can help you, to apply these filters in other views or add in your view templates. The other one is change the grid names. So I have a grid schedule here and all these names. So for some reason you don't like some of the name of these grids. So instead of 0.25, so you can just put it and I don't know, maybe H1, something like that, and then rename. And as you can see, you have now H1 in your grid. So these two are really cool features that you can use inside an Unnico tab. There are other features that you can use, and as I said, you can add your Dynamo scripts inside. But let's jump into an application for creating 3D views using Dynamo and then export them to NWC, so you can use it for Navisworks for clash detection if you're not using Autodesk Construction Cloud. So for some reason, imagine that you have specific zones in your projects or areas, or what is commonly known as rooms. So mechanical rooms, electrical rooms, and you want to create views quickly and export them to Navisworks and use it for coordination purposes inside Navisworks. So here I have my own grid line systems, which are colored by red, which defines the zone. So imagine that this is the zone that I want to create a view for that, and this is another zone that I want to create a view for that, and the black ones are the kind of original grid system in our project. So I have an Excel file which will be our inputs for the Dynamo. So we have the levels in this project as per the level information. So if I go to an elevation view, you see we have these 4 levels. And we have our grids that I want to create my views, so which are named X1, X2 to X4, and then the vertical Y1 to Y4. And then we can use that. Okay, I want to create, for example, 2 zones. I call this one zone 1, and then the second one zone 2. So let's do it like this, and then. Well, this is our zone 1, so this one is between X1 and X2. So our first horizontal grid is X1, our second horizontal grid is X2, our first vertical grid is Y1, and our Y2, and we call it zone 1. And we want to create a section from the entry level to the roof, for example. Okay, so let's select the first level, entry level, and this we're gonna choose roof. And then for our zone 2, if I go back to the floor plan, you can see that this is between x3 and x4. So I'll pick x3, and oh sorry, first is x3, and for the second I pick x4, and for the first vertical grid is y3, and since usually your rooms are fixed, so once you prepare this Excel, you're good to go and you can use it for the rest of the views. So this time I want to create between floor 2 and floor, or maybe from the entry level to only floor 2, and then we name these views that we're going to create in Revit. So we save this file and close it. So let's jump into Dynamo and see how we can create cool Dynamo uh, kind of applications that can help us um, kind of expedite the processes that we have. So just while I'm waiting for Dynamo to be loaded, so we have some rooms which can be categorized by dummy grids that we create, regardless of our grid system. We name them, and once we load them in a project, in an Excel project, then we can connect our Dynamo to that Excel and then start creating the views. Okay. So let's review this script together. I'm not going to write it again for you, and I'm going to share this script if anyone requires that. So it has two parts. I haven't kind of classified the nodes here, but let's start with the start point. So here we need the Excel file that we created. So I'm just gonna select that one, and this one is loaded. So here we're gonna import the data, and then we're gonna just find which is the horizontal and vertical grids as per the user uh, um, kind of inputs. What are the view names? And we're going to review the level names here. And we're going to just adjust some information regarding the levels. Uh, and what we're going to do is just when the Dynamo finds the grid intersections, it creates a polygon based on the zone. For example, here it creates a polygon, and then based on the level information that the user has given Dynamo, it will extrude that kind of polygon. And once the polygon is extruded, then we're gonna create a bounding box here from that extrude, and then we will use this one to rename our views and the node from the rhythm package to create 3D sections out of a bounding box. And then in the next steps, we're gonna export those views to Navisworks using kind of user interface that can be provided by the data shapes nodes, and then we can select a path that we want to store these kind of views. So let's give it a try and run the Dynamo. Okay, I just ran the Dynamo, and I don't want to go inside Revit and review what has happened. Just want to review one node by node to see what has happened. Okay, we got the Excel information. So you see we have a dictionary of exactly what we add inputs in our Excel file. So here we are kind of getting the list of the view names. As we said, we have two. So the output is zone 1, zone 2. Now we are getting the list of levels. So we have the levels that we put there with their names, because we added two levels for our Z direction for each zone. And then we got the exact, the second levels, first levels, and then we got the horizontal grids, we got the vertical grids by their name, and so on and so forth. And then we need to review and adjust the level data. So it depending on where is your project base point. If it is 0, you put 0. If it is not 0, you put that number so you can adjust the elevation, because you need to create a section box to create your views. So here we find the intersection between the grids. So I'm not sure if yeah, let me zoom out to show you what you see. So the Dynamo created these polygons as per the grid intersection, and then create a bounding box around them. So this is the kind of processes that you need to create that polygon. So we have two views, so we need two polygons, and then we need to use a vector to move the polygon based on the adjustment that we did for the levels. Okay, so we need to find, okay, this is between level 1 and level 2, so the vector is from level 1 to level 2. We have the polygon that created by the intersection of the grids here, and then we need to move that or extrude that to create our solid extrusions. And then at the end we need to create bounding box using these geometries. So as you can see, these are the bounding box that are created out of those geometries. And then you need a 3D view, a source 3D view, which you want to extract those section box out of that view. So I just picked the 3D view that I had in my Revit. Okay. And also you need to just rename those views by zone 1 and zone 2. So that's why you need to 2 times or according to the number of the views that you put in your Excel file, you need to duplicate those views with detailing or either without detailing, depending on you or how you want to adjust the scripts. And at the end, you need to rename the view that you duplicated based on zone 1 and zone 2. And then your views are created. And the next step that I'm going to touch base on the other part of the video is how you export your views to Navisworks, which is a very cool tool. Just want to show you that the zone 1 is created. Let's jump back into the 3D view because I want to show you how Dynamo created that bounding box so you can create the section boxes as well. And here is the result. So the views are created, and if you can see the zone 1 and zone 2 views are created, and these are the analytical information that Dynamo is providing. So if I just kind of save this one and close Dynamo, so you will see that your views are created and ready to be exported to Navisworks. In the next part, I'm going to review in detail the scripts and also the last part, which is export to Navisworks view. Wish you luck and see you soon.